Leaders. The unloved European Parliament. From Strasbourg with indifference. The European Parliament has failed to win legitimacy with voters. Look to Denmark for a solution.
The rich world's biggest election, with 375 million potential voters, ought to be both exciting and uplifting. Yet campaigning ahead of this weekend's election to the European Parliament has been neither. Almost everywhere it has focused exclusively on national issues, not European ones. In several countries, a ragbag of extremists, nutcases and xenophobes look set to win seats. And the turnout, which has fallen in every European election since 1979, may yet sink to a new low. The fact is that Europe's electors do not care about their parliament. Most do not bother to vote. Those who do take the excuse to cock a snook at their national governments and boost fringe parties. Insofar as they have any view about the European Parliament, they see it as a talking shop with no influence, a place that lavishes its unknown members with pay, pensions and expenses and wastes oodles of euros every month on a ludicrous commute from Brussels to Strasbourg. Some, but not all of this, is either unfair or plain wrong. The European Parliament has real power, and will become still more powerful if the European Union's Lisbon Treaty is ratified. In many ways, MEPs have more say over legislation than do most of their national counterparts. In recent years, a few hard-working MEPs have wielded decisive influence on the final shape of EU directives that ranged from chemicals and services to animal rights and working hours. And the Parliament has, in effect, arrogated to itself the power to reject national governments' appointments to the European Commission, the EU's executive arm. Even its much-abused expenses system is being cleaned up, though at the cost of higher salaries for most MEPs. Yet none of this will solve the Parliament's central problem, its lack of legitimacy among Europe's voters. The perception that Europe's legislative machinery is remote and unaccountable is widespread even in countries that like the EU. Among Eurotypes, the preferred answer to the democratic deficit has usually been to increase the powers of the directly elected European Parliament. But to most of Europe's disillusioned citizens, the Parliament seems to be part of the problem. Is there a better way? One that has much appeal is to increase the influence of national parliaments on European policy. The best-known model is the Danish Folketing, which summons government ministers every Friday to give them a mandate for the following week's meetings of national governments in the EU's Council of Ministers. If Danish ministers wish to depart from this mandate in the course of negotiations in Brussels, they have to consult the Folketing's European Committee by telephone. Danish citizens are encouraged to lobby their representatives in the Folketing, which maintains a thorough and up-to-date library and website on EU affairs. Building on this, the Lisbon Treaty includes a tentative provision to give national parliaments a little more say in EU legislation. This should be strengthened so that if, say, 1/3 of national parliaments objected to a legislative proposal, it would have to be withdrawn and rewritten. Giving national parliaments more control over the EU would raise questions about the purpose of the European Parliament. In some ways, direct elections were a mistake. Before 1979, MEPs were selected from national parliaments. It would be hard to scrap elections to the Parliament now. That is a pity, because such a step might, strangely, make the EU less remote and more accountable.